Rick, we've got a great chapter to talk about today, about having a plan B, which everybody, of course, needs to have. But before we talk about that, we got this most incredible email through the website, nothinghappensUntilYouDream.com, from one of your super fans. And I'm laughing only because he had this interesting suggestion. His name is Michael Wilson.
Michael, thank you for writing in already. It's great. Let's have it. It must be something of great importance.
Well, he is binging our episodes, which is super cool. I love that. He would, I'm laughing because it's like, Michael, come on, give me a break here. He wants me to come on stage and have you, I don't know, levitate me, vanish me, and then put it up on YouTube as a special promo of the podcast, which is a really super cool idea. But you have this habit, Rick, of making people disappear. I'm thinking of your sister.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Making my sister disappear. And I'm thrilled with my profession. I have been in my industry for many, many years. And I've watched many dancers, assistants, people that have worked very close to me, staff, crew, all vanish in a good way. My wish is for people to follow their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is they join forces with me. We follow our dreams. We present the production, and then their dreams become extremely important to them. They follow their dreams and they step away from the show. I have had more people in the show afraid to tell me that they were going to leave the show because, first of all, I guess they're frightened of me.
Oh, yeah, you're scary.
I'm a very scary individual.
Yes.
But they come up to me now, I've got to say something. They feel so bad. Hopefully, maybe it's because they've realized that we've had an awesome time together.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to move on. They need to follow their dreams, and I'm thrilled. So I've seen a lot of people appear and vanish.
Well, Michael, maybe someday, but I'll tell you right now, even though I think it would be a very cool thing to be part of one of Rick's illusions on stage, I'll just say this to you, Michael, I'm chicken. Okay. I'm chicken. So maybe someday. Thank you so much for writing in and letting us know you're out there and enjoying the podcast. That means a great deal to Rick and I.
Oh, it does. We deeply appreciate it. And thank you for the enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I know how you may feel, but in my show, I actually make a helicopter appear and then make the helicopter vanish. And what happens is I bring somebody up from the audience, an audience member, place them in the helicopter and cause the helicopter and that individual to vanish. Uh-oh. And then I turn to their spouse and ask them if they would like me to return the helicopter back to the stage. Like, no, I'll leave things as is. And it's funny to watch an audience, just their response of how somebody reacts when you say, would you like me to leave things as is or bring her back? And I did all that just because people want to be part of the production. They want to be part of it. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, what better could it be than to make somebody from the audience vanish and then reappear somewhere else? And it's like, I guess the best way to put it, like a Disney ride. They literally do not know when they're in the helicopter what is going on. That helicopter vanishes. They vanish with it. They have no say in the matter. They are gone. And then we magically make them reappear back in the audience. So it was a lot of fun putting that together. I have other effects and illusions where I truly want the audience to be part of it, get on stage, and literally see it up close and personal. In the middle of our show now, we actually bring audience members up on stage during our intermission and allow them to have photos with the dogs,
that'd be cool,
my dancers, and myself on the stage backstage. So we close the curtain and we lead people backstage right in the middle of the show and allow them to have these photos taken, which has become a hit. I know that one of the greatest things that I've always felt is standing on a stage where I just saw a show.
Oh, yeah.
And having that feeling. And in the middle of the production now, I literally let the members of the audience join me on stage, and they come up in droves.
That is something that I have always wanted to do and done, is see things from a different vantage point. Like when I covered sports, I had to go, and I could go out on the pitching mound at Dodger Stadium and stand there and see what the players saw. Look up in the stands and see how big they were, or on the ice at the hockey arena in Anaheim. It used to be called the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim, going down on the ice on ice skates because I can skate. And it's just seeing it from the player's vantage point. It gives you such a different appreciation when you then watch the performance, in this case, games, in your case, the show. It gives you a different vantage. It gives you a different understanding of the show. So I think that is so cool that you let people get up there and get close to the stairway for the mansion and all of that stuff that they've seen that hardly seems real. And now they're actually standing there and it's real. They're touching it.
They're actually standing on a set of stairs that has just previously exploded with flames. And they're like, I've got to get on those stairs.
Yeah. Then they watch the second half of the show and they understand. They know how it feels.
My joy is literally when we walk them backstage and you can see people peeking around the curtain and walking up to me and stepping on the stairs. Is, of course, they go and pet the dogs first. That's the most important part of the entire show.
Oh, yes.
And they find out how amazing these Great Pyrenees dogs are. Say hello to the dancers. They stand on the stairs. They shake my hand. And in a whisper, it is constant. This is where I know I've got it right. It is constant. They lean to me and say, thank you for the magic, but your inspiration, your stories that you're sharing is everything. And I go, thank you, thank you. The evening has just begun. Enjoy the rest of the show. And the relationship is just, they have to tell me that the show is enjoyed, but the stories that are shared and the information that I give them about my life and how I followed my dreams is something that everybody needs to hear.
Well, I think especially now, we've been through a few years of real incredible nightmares, and they continue in certain ways. People need inspiration, I think, now more than ever. They need to hear, yeah, you can do it. You can make things happen for yourself. People need that. They've always needed it. But I truly think now people need it more than ever.
The reason I tell everybody to follow their dreams is because I get to tell myself every day to follow my dreams and to keep it going. Luckily enough, I get to tell myself that every day. And though these are words that I share with the audience, that we enjoy our lives today because of dreams that people had before us, dreams of freedom, dreams of invention, and dreams that are reality, it is said every single day in my show. It rings in my ears. And I tell people over and over again, this is as much for me as it is for you. I am not the master of truly following my dreams. I am a procrastinator.
I'm there.
Actually, I'm becoming more of a procrastinator because I'm enjoying life now more than I did previously by working so hard in my life to get what I think I wanted and think I needed, and then realize that I'm procrastinating now because I'm enjoying life.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
It is very hard when you're working hard for something like you did, like I did with my career. It's very hard to get that. I guess now they call it the life-work balance. It's a new phrase for it, from what I understand. Because, because you're so driven that it's like, okay, I'll get to marrying. I'll get to this. I'll get to that. That's me with kids. I kept saying, I'll have kids at 30. I'll have kids at 35. I'll have kids at 40. Well, guess what? I never had kids.
Children.
Never had time because I kept putting it off. Because in my mind, it was like, my time is not right to have them because I don't have the time to devote to them. I didn't want to have them and then hand them off to somebody. You miss things because you work very, very hard. But you do get to a point, if you're very lucky, and you're there right now, I'm sort of there, where you can kind of push the work thing aside a little bit because you got it going on and start enjoying some of the things that maybe you missed a little bit of on the way there. But it's hard.
That's true.
You're type A personality like me. They call us workaholics. I don't like that phrase because I'm not all about work, but you get that label because you work hard.
And you can't stop.
No.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's been very difficult for me to step aside and let others. Here's the best example. Every performance I do, every theater I attend, every production we set up, I am there right next to my cast and crew, building, setting, and preparing the production. I can't walk away from it. I have theater staff who literally will come up and say, I've never seen a performer so involved with the preparation of doing his production.
Mm-hmm.
And my words to him isn't about just me putting my time and effort into it. I've always felt that I never wanted my cast and crew to feel that they are doing things that I myself would not be willing to do myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I am there. I also, of course, need to be, because I need to make sure that the magic is set up just right, or I'm not quite as magical as I should be on stage.
Yes, there's that.
And that it is a problem. And I wish I could let things go. You've got to have people do their thing.
Yes.
But I've always been there by their sides, and it's been fulfilling for me in my life.
I'm a bad delegator too. But you mentioned earlier how when people leave the show for other opportunities or whatever, that they come to you and they're apologetic. Well, part of that is because you've done just what you described. You've worked with them. You've got down and gotten dirty and climbed under things and whatever you do. They feel a loyalty to you that often employees don't feel to an employer, because when the employer is holier than thou and just dictates, there's no connection. But when the star, in your case, the star of the show, the guy everybody wants to meet after the show and shake hands with, when the star of the show is there with his jeans and his tennis shoes on, building stuff, then there's a connection and there's a loyalty. I think that's the kind of boss everybody just dreams of having, because you feel like you're a team and you're not just somebody who works for somebody. That's important.
I appreciate you sharing those thoughts. Now I feel better about myself.
Well, I'm very glad. I'm very glad.
Well, because sometimes I think I am too involved. When I first started my career, and I was in my 20s and 30s, and I'm a little older than that now, but I was so involved with my cast and crew, I was too involved. I tried to control other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to have them follow their dreams and have a passion that I had, and have them have the same feelings and passion for their lives as well. Everybody is at a different level.
Yes.
Everybody has a different way of looking at life. And you can't force those feelings that you have on other people. I know we're having a podcast that talks about following your dreams. You've got to do what's right for you.
Yes.
And I can't force you to do anything that I have done or do it in the way that I have presented it. All I can tell you is it can happen. You cannot stop. The line of the podcast is true. Nothing happens until you dream, but you then have to do something with those dreams.
Right.
You have to get out there and you have to work for it, and work hard for it. Work for your dreams. Right at the tail end of my show, I'm giving in a little bit of information on the show. There is no mansion of dreams. At the end, the mansion is not restored. There is no mansion. Everything that I told people about rebuilding their dreams, it's not there. And I tell them it's because you don't need a mansion of dreams for your dreams to come true. You have a mind, a wish, a want, a desire, willingness to follow your dreams, then the willingness to work for it. And it starts with virtually nothing. You don't need a mansion of dreams for your dreams to come true. And that's the theme. That's what I want to get across. And you just can't stop. The hardest part about also having a dream is that you've got to devote your life to it. And when you do, sometimes you can damage a lot of your life.
Yes.
Relationships, other careers. And this is why this particular chapter is a big deal for me, and it's having a plan B. But you need to remember that while you're chasing your plan A, you need to have a plan B to protect yourself, to take care of your family, and to deal with the responsibilities you have in your life. Because plan A's just don't happen overnight.
No.
You've got to have those other things in your life to take care of your responsibilities. So you do have to have a plan B. I've seen a lot of people follow their plan A's, and once they got it, they had no one there around them to share it with them, because everything in their life was destroyed or challenged, or bridges were burned as they pursued these dreams and didn't bring anybody along with them.
So they sit there with everything they ever thought they wanted and realize the things they really want, they don't have.
They don't have it.
Yeah, that would be a horrible feeling. But it is very tricky. And when you're so devoted to your plan A, like you are, that plan B is kind of like, I don't need it. I've got my plan. There's only one route for me to go. And that can't be the case. I talk to students about this all the time. If this doesn't happen right away, what are you going to do?
Hmm.
And they're like, well, I don't know, because I just finished 4 years of college to go do this. And now you want me to
Hmm.
come up with something else? But you do. Safety net,
Yes,
if
we
you want
do.
to call it that, you know?
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, many of my Plan Bs have become Plan As
Oh,
during the
yes.
COVID during the COVID challenges we faced. I had a whole bunch of Plan Bs because my Plan A didn't exist. I needed to turn a corner, open a new
Mm-hmm.
chapter, and follow other things in my life that took me further and helped me protect my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's fascinating about life in general? I was talking previously about college and education.
Right.
This is an important concept to remember, and why learning is important, and why being out there in the world and obtaining all the knowledge you can is important. Everything you do and everything you've learned becomes a part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I repeat it again. Everything you do and everything you've learned becomes a part of who you are. I had an opportunity as a young boy in high school and college to accomplish a lot of my objectives in my career. My magic was heading in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
My parents did force me to go to college. But even when I was 18 and 19 years old, I was already working in the public relations department over at Long Beach Convention Entertainment Center, where they had premier special events like the big rock concerts. We had Kiss, Journey, Styx.
Oh,
We had the
cool.
symphonies. We had the Civic Light Opera. All this was in my life. And at that point, I didn't even have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working in the industry that I wanted to. And in fact, I can tell you that there was a massive turning point for me. This is the absolute truth. I am literally in the arena.
Uh-huh.
I have been working public relations and dealing with the artists. Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton came in to present their show in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And I was responsible for making sure that they and their staff were taken care of, that they were in the right rooms they needed to be. I was just basically the go-to guy to make sure that everybody was comfortable.
Okay.
And I'm standing there literally at the edge of the stage that night, watching the two of them singing together on that stage. And this was a massive stage in the round. So the
Mm-hmm.
arena was like 15,000 people, and they were in the dead center of the arena in a circular stage. And I just remember the moment, and I sat there and I looked up and I just said to myself, that's where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with a lack of worth of where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I loved what I was doing. I enjoyed being part of the industry, whether on stage or off stage. I just want to be part of the industry. All of my graphics and production and video production, I do myself for my show. If I was not presenting my magic, I would be doing post-production for movies.
Uh-huh.
There's things that I would truly love to do and things that I know I can accomplish. But my joy was looking up there and saying, I want to be up there. And for that one moment was the turning point for me, where even though my parents directed me towards college and all these other things that I was doing and public relations for the convention center,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I needed to be the entertainer that was inside me. I continued to pursue it. But at the same time, I continued to be employed by the convention center and go to school. And then, of course, do everything that I could to get where I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was important to realize, that in spite of wanting to be on that stage and wanting to be Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton up there on that stage, that I had to continue to pay the bills, make sure that there was food on the table. And I did. I have a brief joke, and it's
Mhm.
not a big one, but it's something that I say even now to this day.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be a plug for a fast food restaurant.
Uh-oh.
But I say it because in reality, with all of the accomplishments I have, I say often to people, I just want to make sure there's Taco Bell on the table.
I get it.
And the point is I just want to make sure there's food on my
Right.
table.
Right.
I want to make sure there's food on my table and there is a roof over my head. I am very lucky for what I do. But at the same time, when COVID hit and I realized that as an entertainer, I literally had no profession whatsoever. We weren't an important part of people's lives
Mm-hmm.
at that time. I was willing to jump into a semi truck and start driving. That at that point in my life was my joy. I had no remorse in not doing my show. I was thrilled actually to consider starting to drive a truck and do something else to take care of my family.
I still can't see you bringing food to my door. I've thought about this. If you started driving these around or seeing you at Albertsons unloading food, I can't quite see it. But no, during the pandemic, anybody in entertainment, radio and TV, we were pretty much fine. But anybody in live entertainment was pretty much SOL, and it was rough.
It was rough, but I can tell you, have a lot of skills.
Yes, I
It went
know.
all the way back. I'm telling you, I'm just giving you another one. Talking about all of the jobs that I had, I was a limo driver also.
I didn't know
for
that.
some time. I drove
Oh
limousines,
my goodness.
and then what I did is when I drove the limos, I had a hook. I was the magic limo driver.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
and I literally and that was when I was doing the public relations for the convention center. On my nights free, I would drive limos. And what I would do is I'd pick up the people, I'd drive them to wherever they needed to go, usually a restaurant.
Right.
And then once they settled, I would get out of the limo, I'd go in there and I would perform magic for them at their table. So here I was driving limousines, but at the same time continuing to pursue what? My main goal, and that is to become a superstar in the world of magic. Not only was it a lot of fun, it was successful. I was constantly requested. The tips were huge.
I bet.
And it helped me to propel my career.
But see, that's where the cleverness comes in, because you were doing something that had nothing to do with nothing, limo driving. Okay, that's got nothing to do with your real dream, but it put the Taco Bell on the table, as you say. Okay, so that was
important. Sure that the food's on the table.
Right. But you figured out a way to bring your magic into it. And first, that made the limo driving more fun for you, but it also helped propel the career and make more money. That's the kind of synergy, that's the kind of creativity that people have to start to kind of embrace. That's one thing I push my students to do. You know, you're not on the air yet, but how can, in what you're doing right now, can you bring an on-air element in it so you keep practicing your craft, but you also keep showing your skill? And that's a head scratcher for a lot of people, and it is a trick. It is tricky to figure it out, but it is brilliant if you can do it.
It's out there. Just make sure that in the process of following your dreams, that you take care of your responsibilities. I can only say that because life is short. We all can damage relationships and even other parts of our lives that we can't get back, thinking that we're going to follow this dream. I know more people, and I say this in jest, who have built a home literally from the ground up, and it caused a divorce.
Because it was so stressful. Yes.
Because it was so stressful.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but more people have divorced because they built a home together from the ground up instead of just buying one that was already built. No, I like this carpet. No, I like that carpet. No, I like this color green. I like that color purple. It goes on and on and on. And I'm just saying it, demonstrating the house. But when you're building something and putting something together, it's going to step on other people's toes and relationships. Following your plan sometimes takes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you focus on one thing when you can't focus on many. So I think that that's why I too have had troubles and frustrations by following my dreams and it being all about Rick Thomas and about my mansion of dreams and my shows rather than family or anything else that may be there in front of you. So I just plead with you, a man who knows and has had wisdom in understanding what it is to lose something because you followed your dreams and everything else around you fell apart. You've got to look around you and make sure the Taco Bell's on the table.
And that you're enjoying it. And that you're enjoying the journey because you're, oh boy, like, you know, from the time you're a kid, you know, everybody says life is short. And you kind of go, yeah, right, of course. But at some point you realize it really is. It goes by in a blink of an eye.
Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Because getting there is not all that it's cracked up to be. I also point out again, I know I said it before, I know a lot of people who appear to have everything in their life, whether it be wealth or fame, and their lives aren't happier than anybody else's.
No.
The struggle is there. You'll see a lot of drama. Being human is difficult. And wherever you are, that's another lovely saying I'd like to say, wherever you are, there you are.
Yep.
Let me explain it just a bit. If you continue to only wish, want, and desire to be somewhere else, your life will never be complete. I'm asked often by people, and right now the show is in lovely Branson, Missouri. And they say, don't you want to be in Las Vegas? And I said, Vegas is awesome. I performed and presented my production in Vegas for 20 years. I performed my show across this world in over 50 countries, Asia, wherever it may be, China, Japan, Korea, wherever you are, there you are. The people in my theater watching my show this Friday night are as important as the people that I performed for in Las Vegas.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you are. You should just be extremely glad that you have that opportunity to at least perform or present or do what you want to do. Where you are is not important as to the joy that you get out of life itself. I would say, though, that if I was down on my luck, I'd do everything I could to get a plane ticket to Hawaii and live on the beach.
I'd be happy to be right there with you. Just bring the margaritas and bring the sun. That's all I'm asking.
I'm just trying. I'm just trying and begging for you to listen carefully to understand that wherever you are, enjoy the moment. It is where you are. And even if you want to be somewhere else, you're not there yet, or you won't be there. Don't worry. When I left Las Vegas and I moved the show to another location, was I unhappy? No, I was thrilled. I was thrilled to perform something new, a new experience in my life. And I see the faces of the people I perform for. And again, they're the same faces I see in every theater across the world. It doesn't matter. I had a group of people from Japan go to Branson from Japan.
My
now,
goodness.
why? I'm not quite sure. And say, we are from Japan. They'd heard of the show and they wanted to see it. So they flew to Branson to see the production.
Wow.
But they came from Japan to see the show. So if you just kind of get a grip on what I'm trying to say today, wherever you are is where you should appreciate you are. Yes, fight for your plan A, go for it. But while you're doing it, just make sure that you're taking care of your own and enjoy whatever you're doing, because as you put it, life is short.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Yep.
But I did have another plan B I've got to tell you about that I did during COVID that was important for me.
Okay.
Something that may be intriguing to others. So you understand a little bit more about the diversity of what you should understand in life. And that is taking care of your own. I had a wonderful couple people come to my show while I was performing out in Vegas. And they came up to me after the show and said, we appreciate your show. We appreciate you talking about your dreams. What do you know about gold and silver? And I said, I know that I should probably have some. And they said, how about we help you diversify your portfolio and take care of your family? So a wonderful company decided to share with me their information. There's hundreds and thousands of people that they've assisted and helped understand how to buy gold and silver and how to protect their families. And sure enough, COVID hit. My magic career stopped. And during those 2 years, not only did they help me with my career, I decided to become a spokesman for the company and profit from the company as well. I don't want to go into this in any greater depth. I just need to let you know that there are a lot of plan Bs out there. I've embraced one of them. The truck driving is important in my life as well. Though I don't use my license too often, my plan A, my world of magic, I never want to give up. I never want to walk away from. I am so thrilled that I'm still presenting, performing, and creating illusions in the world of entertainment. It is what I do. It is what I love. It is my passion. But at the same time, to make sure I've got that food on the table, I am personally willing to do plan Bs to take care of my responsibilities and enjoy it no matter what. So I love my understanding now of financial industry. I enjoy and love and appreciate my driver's license in the trucking industry. And I absolutely embrace my magic. So there are a lot of different things in my life that make me full. And thank heavens for plan Bs, plan Cs, and plan Ds that maybe, just maybe, become your plan As. You have no idea. It may flip upside down and they may become plan As.
Well, you've got a lot of information about gold and silver, and we've talked outside of the podcast about it. You're willing to tell people some of the secrets that you've learned. And best place to go is mansionofdreams.net/wealth. It's a great website anyway. There's lots of cool things about the mansion on it, but that's where people can get more info.
Again, I just want people to know that I may have chatted about it, but I'm trying to give examples of just get out there, continue to learn. If someone is out there willing to give you a helping hand, grab that hand. We need to follow our dreams, but we can't do it alone. So we should chase our dreams together.
And I'm going to add one thing to that. Make sure you say thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Not you to me, but when somebody helps you out. Cute, Rick. No, when somebody helps you out, you do have to remember to say thank you, because you may encounter them on the next step to your dreams too. And that thank you can go a long way from the past time that you worked together or met.
Thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderful day. I appreciate my time with you. I do hope that a few of the words today mean something to somebody. They do to me. I am not perfect. Sometimes I'm not as eloquent as I wish I could be, but my heart's in the right place. I do care about people when they don't think I do, because I put too much time into my show. Just know that there are people around me that I do love and appreciate as well. And without them, my dreams wouldn't come true either. So I thank you for the support that everyone gives me in my life. My wife, Tara, is very strong by my side. I have a great family, and I thank them for putting up with me.
Yes, you're difficult. Totally.
Absolutely.